Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app.
And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
And good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We are presented by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and Lounge and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. You can stream the show on thezone1059.com and the Out of Bounds radio app. You can also hit us up on the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-707-3750. Twitter handle at BoBounds. And your Ag Up Equipment text line is 601-885-3776. And as we were going over the weekend, I did not think that we would be covering a coach in Mike Leach, who had a personal health issue and was transferred to UMC from Starkville yesterday, according to Sid Salter, Mississippi State's Director of Public Affairs. Since then, Steve Robertson, among others in the media, have tried to track down exactly what is going on. We know that it's not good, and that he had been battling pneumonia, Mike Leach, that is, throughout the season. And you know, we discussed some of the post-game press conferences and press conferences in general where, Coach Mike Leach did not sound well. And evidently, according to whatever report you want to roll with, something really, really bad has happened health-wise. Because you don't just get transferred to get transferred. He would have stayed at Oktibbeha County Hospital. And so our thoughts and prayers are with Coach Mike Leach and his family. And we're going to kind of try to dissect this thing as much as we can. We'll have Steve Robertson on at 7:30 today, who spent, I guess I talked to Steve 4 or 5 times yesterday, and he spent a good bit of the day trying to track things down, as did the Clarion Ledger and others in the, we did too, in the sports media business, if you will. Blake Scott, good morning. I didn't think that we would be covering a story like this when I was kind of mapping out what we were going to do on Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning.
No, this would be the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to stories that we want to cover.
Yeah.
You know, coach hirings happens all the time. Scandals, whatever, it's part of the job. But when it comes to finality and health, it's just a different world. And so, yeah, not a day that anybody wants to be in.
No, and you don't get transferred unless it's serious to somewhere like UMC, Birmingham, Memphis, wherever, and or you don't call the kids in. And so, according to Steve Robertson, late last night, 2 of the 4 kids had made their way here to Jackson, Mississippi, to UMC on State Street. And 2 more were maybe expected over the course of last night or this morning. Not sure about that. But, it's got the Mississippi State fan base, really already in mourning. And we don't have any kind of definitive news on where he is health-wise, other than if you talk to people, they say it's critical and it's really bad.
Yeah, I think anytime critical spans an extended period of time, you don't feel good about it. Secondly, I think, like you said, there are indicators that are not positive. I think that one of the most interesting things, or I guess, when you try to find something to take out of a negative situation, is the outpouring of support and love is well beyond the Mississippi State fan base. And I think it's a true indication when you see the names that are tweeting about Mike Leach, talking about Mike Leach, it's, his impact, his fingers on the football world are, they're
Immeasurable.
iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. I mean, they are one of the we like to do this all the time, the Mount Rushmore of something. I mean, he is. His impact on the game is insane. And so you're seeing that played out in real time. And it's an unfortunate situation. Nobody wants this to be a conversation you have to have, but
because you go from excitement on winning the Golden Egg and going to a cool bowl game and some recruiting buzz to 16 hours ago, Sid Salter, the director of public affairs at Mississippi State, released, what was this? A 4-part tweet here. Mississippi State University head football coach Mike Leach had a personal health issue at his home earlier today. The issue led to a decision to transfer Coach Leach to the University of Mississippi Medical Center in Jackson. And that right there is when you know it's dead damn serious. Because like we said, if it was just, even if it was semi-serious, you go into, maybe Octavia County Hospital, you stay for 24 hours, you're out, you're okay. And it has been hush-hush other than people trying to, find out exactly what is going on and whether he'll make it. Most everybody that I talked to wasn't confident at all that he would make it. I don't know what to do with that. But that's what, and we'll let Steve Robertson weigh in a little bit more. But the people that we talked to, and we talked to a lot of people yesterday, there wasn't a lot of confidence. Hopefully something miraculous can happen, and he'll be okay. And I think the first thing is him just to be okay, not worried about whether or not he can coach again, because you heard things like stroke, cardiac arrest, and heart attack. And, none of those things are a recipe for good news. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Want to say morning to you, and we're still trying to figure all this out and piece all of this together. Again, Steve Robertson will stop by at 7:30. Tom Luganbill will stop by at 8:30, and we may have more, and then we may have breaking news. Hopefully it'll be good news at some point during the show, although there's not a lot of confidence with the people that I talked to. The team practiced yesterday. So, you see some pushback on like exactly what the program should do. Blake and I were talking about this. If the guy down the road owned a $10 million small business and he passed away, they would have to pivot and figure things out immediately. You can't just, shut down for 90 days and so on, because you've got payroll, employees, whatever business you're in, and so on. And so the Mississippi State football program named Zach Arnett interim head coach, and they went ahead and practiced yesterday. As Blake and I were talking, you would think they'll take today off, but I have no idea what their bowl schedule was and what it will be going forward. But we know that Mike Leach is in critical condition, and we're all hoping and praying for the best. As Blake said earlier, his impact on the game, regardless of which way this goes, among the greatest of all time, because of how innovative he and Mummy and some of the people he was around were. We are the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The Ag Up Equipment text line is 601-885-3776. We'll go with the big board coming up next. And then we'll have Steve Robertson on, Hail State Insider, to discuss the latest on Mike Leach's health. Good morning. Welcome in. This is the Out of Bounds Show. I'm your host, Bo Bounds.